Good morning, Legacy Builders. Happy Tuesday. So great to see everyone on this morning. Come on in, come on in. As usual, let me know who's with us. Um, Let me see who you are and what you're drinking. As this is Tea Time Tuesday. Come and join me. Let me know what you're drinking. Tea, coffee, water, whatever your beverage of choice. Let's do this. It's always going to be a combination of tea and water for me. So come on in. And it'll be myself and Mark today. He will be back on and joining me shortly. But come on in and let me see who you are. Good morning. Look, Mark and I are excited to be back on this morning. Many of you are going to be joining us today who've been with us for the last 6 days for the Legacy Builder Blueprint Revealed Masterclass. So, good morning, Sheila. Great to see you. It's your ginger green tea today. Yes, ma'am. I am with you on the green tea. Yes, I'm with you, but I love that ginger touch there. So good morning, Gabrielle. Good morning, Velma. Francesca, always great to see you. Good morning. Come on in. And those of you on Instagram who are joining me there, joining me on LinkedIn, good morning. Great to see you. Facebook, we're streaming everywhere today as we're wrapping up from our exciting 6 days together, just delving into money behavior, legacy building strategies. It's been an exciting time. So I'm really happy to be able to come on, just kind of share some of the things that we went through, see some of the familiar faces. Good morning, Dr. Roxanne. Just had your coffee. Francesca, you have your water. Michelle, good morning. Nancy, great to see you. Come on in from all the various places. So glad to be here this morning. Look, we really had a power-packed 6 days. Starting last Wednesday, we began the Legacy Builder Revealed Masterclass. And I want to know, let me know if you joined us all of the days or any of those days. Let me know in the chat. Say, I was there. You were there. I want to know who was with us. And I also want to hear from you. What are some of the takeaways? What did what stood out to you? Share with me. What is one thing that you got from the masterclass that really resonated with you and that you took away? All right. And as you're doing that, we're just going to continue to welcome others in. There you go. Good morning. Yes. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the shares because Mark, and welcome back, Mark. I know you're having little technical difficulties this morning, but glad to have you here.
Just a little bit. Yes. Thank you.
All right.
You can hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can see you. I haven't listened to replay. Okay. Francesca, you say you caught the replays. Awesome. The replays are still up, so make sure you catch them. And let me see. I'm looking at the comments. Yes, you were there. All right. Quite a few of you were there. So really kudos for you for joining us again this morning. I love our community. Y'all show up. Y'all show up for yourselves. You show up for the learning. You show up for us, and we appreciate that. I don't know about you, but I'm not here just to talk to myself. I want to make sure what we're saying is matters, that is resonating, that it is helping you to grow as you build your legacy. So we're going to do that today. So Mark, let's talk about the masterclass. And I see Dr. Roxanne. She added her takeaway, and let me just put that in there. Dr. Roxanne shared about the 4 R's. Recognize, reframe, recognize. That's right. Reflect, I'm going to say it in order, although you have it there. Recognize, reflect, reframe, and then respond. So, yes, ma'am. Glad that you were able to take that from you and you've shared that you really love that and have been working on it. So, of course, what we want is for you not just to take the information, but to actually continue to work on it, to work on what the information that we've provided, the tried and true techniques. So, come on in. Good morning, Yvetta. Great to see you. All right, great takeaway for today.
As everyone is joining in, I have to say, Marcella, that the master class, the last 6 days. So we had 3 days of the master class, 2 days of Q&A, and then the bonus day were absolutely phenomenal. And I'm still here looking at all the comments coming in here. And let me tell you, it was, look, this isn't our first rodeo, and yet I was blown away by the information, the shares, Marcelo. The shares was just unbelievable, and we'll touch on that a little bit more. And it was just so much fun. Like I had a blast. Like this was fun.
Absolutely. I mean, we had some really special guests who heard Aquania. She shared on Friday, actually on Thursday, right, Mark? She shared about how she created her family and legacy bank, her experience working with us, and how she's able to retire at 39. She's been able to retire and truly pursue her purpose and her passion for helping others and with building their finances. So we heard from her, and that was remarkable. A lot of you heard a lot of feedback about how valuable her share was for each of you, especially as it comes to real estate investing. And then, Mark, on Friday, many of you heard from Gabrielle. We shared our family crest. We talked about the family culture, and we shared about really how we've been able to build a family culture that instills the key elements to building multi-generational wealth. And one of the tools we talked about was the family crest. And Gabrielle came on and talked about her experience being raised in the family culture that we've developed. And we heard some great feedback around that, right, Mark? Talking about our family crest.
Well, let me just add a little comment here that there's so many this is from Sheila, so many takeaways, so many people are empowered by the information given. And it was, also the shares from, as you mentioned, Aquania, Gabrielle. I'm a little biased because that's my niece, but absolutely just phenomenal story. How not only is she incorporating that, but to her little one. So she announced every one of her pregnancy and everything. So she'll share that belly.
Yeah, that was fun.
But she is setting forth the foundations that starting today, to create generations upon generations of wealth and knowledge and assets. And so, yeah, just truly touching,
Yes. And then we were able, some of you were able to make the Q&A, the bonus days. If not, again, catch the replays while they're still available.
Yes.
We were able to hear from some of our existing family legacy experience cohort members. They shared their experience. And what I loved about that, Mark, is I had emphasized how different everyone is. You may think that when it comes to legacy, this isn't for me. I don't know if this is for me. Maybe I don't have kids. Maybe I'm a single parent. Maybe, your different stages in life. But by hearing some of the wonderful individuals that are in our community, you could see for yourself and probably be able to identify someone that you completely relate to and realize, oh, wait a minute, there is a way that I can build a powerful legacy. And that's what we wanted. So I was really happy to hear from our members, and I really appreciate them.
And one of the things that really stuck out to me is that, as we're talking about family and legacy, there were some members or some of those that joined us was a little concerned because they don't have the traditional family. And so one of our guest speakers, she falls in that non-traditional family, right? It's just her, right now in her life. And yet this experience that she's gone through the legacy, family legacy experience, it's completely changed her mindset. It has redirected her path in life. And it really showed that you don't have to think about being in that traditional family of a spouse and children to leave a legacy. And that was an
Yes,
eye opener for a lot of people to say, I can be a legacy builder, even if it's
exactly.
just you, right? So there's still a legacy you can pass on. So that was another part that, again, out of hundreds of things that I could say, that was another one that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, it definitely was. And so we introduced during that time with everything that was going on and all the information that we were sharing and pouring into you. We introduced the family legacy experience. That's what you've been hearing us talking about, right, for the last few minutes, Mark. But for all of you, we introduced our program, the Family Legacy Experience, which is a 12-month program tailored to help you build more fulfillment, purpose, and impact so that you can build multi-generational legacy wealth. Legacy wealth. And with that, there is an element which is the topic of our conversation today. So, and I'll let Mark lead with that one.
Well, it was one of my classes, right? So,
Yes.
so when we talk about the master classes, the 3 days of just information that Marcella and I were providing, one of the things that we wanted to touch on was the different assets or the assets that we want to leave as a legacy. So for most of us, when we think about leaving a legacy, what's the first thing that pops in your mind? Well, most likely you're thinking something on a financial level, whether it's leaving money, whether it's leaving property. There's some kind of tangible item that you're looking to pass on. And that's important. But as we stated during the masterclass, it's another aspect that we most of the time I would argue that we tend to ignore, even don't even realize it exists. And that is the intellectual assets. So it's important to make sure you manage the financial piece, but you cannot ignore. You have to incorporate the intellectual assets in the planning to create a proper legacy, or what we call multi-generational legacy. That's how
Mhm.
you go about that. So, Marcella, why don't we just give them a little tease?
I will. And before I do, I want to find for those, since so many individuals here live with us today were, on the master class and heard some of the things that we shared when we talked about and we introduced intellectual assets. I want to find out in the chats. Let me know, was that an aha moment for you? And the way we talked about and merging intellectual and financial assets on an equal playing field. Let me know if that was an aha moment for you, even if it's something that you thought about unconsciously, subconsciously, but bringing it to the forefront in the way that we did. Let me know how that was for you, how that resonated with you, some of your thoughts about that. So yes, or we as individuals are dropping the comments, let's talk
The
about a little bit about
takeaway.
those intellectual assets because yeah, the takeaways. Yeah, I'm gonna let them add some takeaways there and everything that has to do with that, what they got out of that conversation. But let's talk about those intellectual assets because it is how I look at it, it is the most important asset that we're not investing in, that we're not thinking about. We're taking the time to, again, we're investing, we're doing what needs to be done. We're talking to our financial advisors about the financial assets that we need to put in place so that we can pass on. But are we taking the same effort and measures that it takes to pass on and to really organize our intellectual assets? And during that conversation, we talked about particularly 4 intellectual assets to look at, to be intentional about transferring to the next generation and setting up a plan so that it is transferred from generation to generation. The Bible says, wise man leaves an inheritance, a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. And we count this as such. So the first intellectual asset that we spoke about was knowledge. Knowledge. Knowledge is the combination of education and information that we've learned through our lifetime that we want to pass on to the next generation. And then, so everyone type in the chat knowledge. So I know that you got that. The second intellectual asset that we discussed and covered were resources, right? Resources. We broke up resources as human resources, natural resources, and capital resources. And again, these are, we can't go into all the details now, but that's what the replay is for. If you missed it, go back and catch the replay. But we talked about those elements and how important it is to nurture and guide using the resources to pass on to the next generation, followed by the third, experiences. One of my favorites, experiences. And since we understand that legacy is how others will experience your existence, that makes it even more powerful. How do you capture experiences and help to create experiences that multiple generations will learn and grow from? And then the fourth is mentality. And mentality is the mindset, the attitudes, the mental development that we have that we need to continue to grow so that it is gained by the next generation and multiple generations. And bringing all these together in a systematic way so they are captured and not lost. And that's a sad part. So many of these intellectual assets are lost from generations past. We've lost so much simply because we were not consciously thinking of them as assets that need to be transferred. So that is what we are about. And yes, you're typing in knowledge. I see you're typing in resources, typing in
Um,
experiences.
they're putting it in there.
Yes, and
They're putting it in.
mentality. Yes, you're typing them up. I Bill was indeed at home. Okay, so let me look at some of these takeaways. I see Tamika. Yeah, she said the equal playing field was indeed an aha moment. So glad to hear that. That's what we want to hear. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? The way you presented intellectual assets and financial assets and how they came together, merged together, gives a more complete way of leaving a powerful legacy. Thank you for sharing that, Francesca. What else do we have there, Mark? Let me see. I think I see Sheila.
Is that Sheila?
Yeah. Knowledge, resource, experience, mentality. They were an aha moment, but they are so very important to transfer to future generations and legacy building. Absolutely, Sheila. And we thank you. We thank you for, Sheila's one who shared her phenomenal story with her family Kwanzaa Club, who has been in place for 34 years, 34 years of family unity. And then when we met and she heard about the family legacy experience, she knew she had to be a part of it so that there was that, as she shared, right, Sheila, that missing element in their club and their family Kwanzaa Club. And she expressed that the family legacy experience provided the family crest, the family bank aspects. And I'm so excited that she and her sister Veronica will be revealing the family crest at their 35th anniversary. So we're really excited for it. And we'd love to hear stories like that and ways that we can support families build their legacies. And it's a beautiful and different stages of their lives and of their journey. So this is what's so powerful.
Marcella, the other thing I want to add here, and my apologies, my network is a little bit slow on this side, so I'm hearing things and I'm not hearing things. So
Gotcha.
we're going to keep this going, but hopefully you can hear me, because there was another aspect of the shares that was so important, and it touches on what Sheila was sharing, that there were shares, not just from our guest speakers, but those that were participating, where they already started a process. They weren't from ground zero, right? There was clearly a process. And coming to the masterclass, coming through our process, coming through the family legacy experience, there's still this whole nother world that they discovered. There was a whole nother experience to add value to what they were already doing. And Sheila is an example of that. I mean, 34 years, 34 years. Yeah, that's quite impressive. And yet there's a whole new element that she's going to be bringing into the family come next year. And I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone that is looking to really create legacy in a multi-generational level. And to do that, you need all the tools and resource to be able to maintain and sustain that, right? And that's what the family legacy experience is all about, to help you maintain this as indefinite as possible. So again, I'm just so excited, and the shares were just really showing how this is a game changer for families. This is a game changer for individuals.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that just as many of you took advantage when you joined the group, you were able to get the family legacy checklist, asking those questions that each family member needs to be able to ask from one another, to start having the conversations. That was a stepping stone into start tapping into those intellectual assets. And as Mark said, those kind of shares make it even more exciting, makes what we do even more enjoyable. But we want you to continue to have the conversations. We want you to continue to kind of explore, okay, where are we? What level are we at when it comes to our family legacy? Where do we need to be? What is it going to take for us to get to that next level, to build true multi-generational wealth? And we understand how challenging it can be. We understand that your time is limited. We understand that there's a million things to do and not enough hours in the day. And that's why we created a program that gives you the time, that provides the education, to provide the education in a way that will fit your schedule. And not just the education, right, Mark? There's the first part is education, and the second part is implementation.
Exactly.
Implementation, right? Because that's the part that gets us. We learn, we take this class, we're in this webinar, we're on this, for whatever it is that's popping up. We don't really, the individuals, the average legacy builder is not lacking an ability to learn. What we honestly lack is the ability to implement, simply because of a number of reasons. And what we created and carved into this program was just what you need to get the job done, not on your own, but with all the assistance and support of financial advisors, financial coaches, life coaching, and all that it takes to. And then we have Gabrielle, who is our family crest consultant, the person that actually helps you design your family crest and put it together, and all that's involved to get the job done. And the job is building a powerful and impactful legacy. So that's what this is all about. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice here, but we're just excited to be able to welcome you and encourage you. If you were on the call, we put it out there to schedule a conversation with me. Let's see if this is for you, or let's see if it's not. But so many of you took the first step, which is actually often the scariest step. And that's to simply say, you know what? I'm going to have this conversation, because I know in my heart I'm a legacy builder. I want to build a legacy. I'm a legacy leader. I want to see what it takes to take things to the next level for me, my family, my mentors, my community, my children, all the areas and aspects of your life in which you impact people, in which you leave an impression, in which you can leave your legacy. You took the step, you scheduled your call, and I applaud all of those that I am talking to now and I get to talk to over the next 24 hours. So if you have not taken that step yet, I encourage you to visit familylegacyexperience.com. That's familylegacyexperience.com. And to be able to schedule the call. Because you know what, Mark? We extended it, didn't we? Because of
Yes, we did. Because of the demand.
Because of the demand. We actually ran out of room on my calendar. It filled up. and people wanted to still get time in so that they can have that conversation and get more information about the family legacy experience. So now, not only do you have until the 24th to schedule, because it was shutting down at midnight tonight, but now I'm extending it to one last day. Wednesday is your last day. Tomorrow's the last day to schedule a conversation with me. And it is also the last day to catch the replays. So now we added an extra 24 hours to catch the replays.
And
So
Marcel, if I can add as well, one of the beautiful things about what we're doing here is that we want to keep this community tight so that we can really work on on the family unit as close as possible. So space is limited. We max out at 15. So we want to make sure you get the opportunity. We extended the time frame because people wanted more time to get on the calendar, but that space is limited. So we want to take advantage of that to take the call to action. Again, schedule that call with Marcella. She's great to talk to. That's why you come here on Tea Time Tuesday and just have a conversation. That's all this is. It's just a conversation to see where you are, what you want with your legacy. What does that look like to you? And how you can be guided so that you can have that for you and your family.
absolutely. Yeah, that's what it is about. So we thank you for that. You see the website there, familylegacyexperience.com. And let me just put Sheila added, yes, it added value and connected the dots to move to the next level and how to implement and establish it. Yes, that's what the family legacy experience is all about. Connecting the dots
Exactly.
and implementation. So, Mark, any last words? Again, I think I'm seeing the conversations here. I'm seeing what people are took away from this, from the experience we've had. I've had a great time. I don't know
I,
about you, Mark. I had a great time.
I had a blast with everything that was going on. I was actually looking forward to the master class. And even though you and I are hosting this and we're the one that is sharing this information, I got so much out of it. And sometimes you have to hear from other people to realize how much of an impact you're really making. And I saw firsthand how you and I, something that as we discovered last night in the conversation, that we've been working on this for over 15 years. For over 15 years, we've been working to create what you guys have today. We didn't even realize it, right? We knew it was some time, but
Yes.
yeah, but this was birthed in our mind 15 years ago, and now we're seeing it come to fruition, and the change and the dynamics and the mind shift that this is causing. So I'm just so happy to be a part of it, that I am a vehicle that is used to create an experience for other people to have. And Marcel, I have to give you props as well.
I
You know,
appreciate
I have to
that.
give you props because you're the one that birthed this. And we did this
Yes.
together, but you're the one that birthed this.
Well, I couldn't do it without a credible team. I couldn't do it without you. So I mean, that's what it's about. And we can't do it without you all. Knowing that there are amazing legacy builders like each of you who are desiring more for yourselves, desiring more for your family. This is so powerful because it doesn't just impact your family, impacts your business. It's growth, right, Mark? It's
Yes.
complete growth, personal, professional, family development. What do we always say? How you do one thing is
It's
how you
how
do
you do
anything,
everything or
right?
anything. Yes,
You
yes.
know, the various versions of that. So as you grow and develop in this experience, it's going to impact that experience will be felt by others everywhere you go. And that's one of the biggest point and the biggest messages I want you to get from this, that this family legacy experience overflows, overflows. And that's what makes it incredible. So I look forward to having for all the conversations I'm going to have today. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to those who are going to be scheduling calls for between today and tomorrow who have not yet gone to Family Legacy Experience and scheduled their call with me. Please do so for a great, like I said, it's a mini coaching session. Take advantage of it. Let me hear from you. Let's start having the money conversation, the legacy conversations that maybe we've been putting off for too long, but it's always been the desire of our heart. We just didn't know there was a place for it. This is where it is. So join us for the conversation. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for your shares today and for being with us over the last 6 days over the Legacy Masterclass Revealed. Mark and I can't thank you both enough.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day, and we will see you next time, next Tuesday, for some more tea time. Cheers, everyone.